All right, my name is John Adamine. I'm the host here at the Radical Fabulatorium. I'm joined now by Jessica Rhaye, singer and songwriter based in St. John, New Brunswick. Hey, Jessica.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
So you're about to hit the road in support of your new album, Sunshine Baby?
Yeah, we are. We're starting out in the on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the trail side in PEI first on Thursday, 28th,
Cool.
and then our big hometown show at the Imperial Theatre on Saturday, the 30th.
Yeah, that's coming up this week.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already coming up, and I mean we've been preparing for it and like visually and just like set lists and getting everything together, and now it's like okay, it's actually happening now.
Oh, just a second, we're having an issue at the radio station. Can you wait
okay,
just a
no
second?
problem.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We have a new host here. I just happened to be at the radio station, so we have a new host who's just had a little bit of issue there on the live board.
Oh, no worries.
Sorry about that. So you're playing in St. John this Saturday, and then you're hitting the road for Nova Scotia and Ontario?
Yeah, Nova Scotia, and then we're off to Ontario for a week.
Okay.
And we're also hitting Quebec as well, so that'll be our first time.
First time in Quebec?
First time in Quebec performing, yeah.
Cool.
So we're excited. It's happening.
That's such a beautiful province, Quebec.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there once for sure. I mean, I've driven through it many times, but I've actually stopped and enjoyed old Quebec City. Was beautiful.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to go back.
Absolutely. Very beautiful city.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you a question, actually. I wanted to ask you, what kind of was the importance or significance of family and like your grandmother in growing up?
Oh, are you talking about the video that we did for Reaching Out to You?
I may be getting to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that song really, that was one of those songs that really just poured out of me. Some songs, they take time. I'll start a chorus, I'll start a verse, and I'll set it aside because I need to spend more time crafting it. But that particular song, Reaching Out to You, was one of those songs that just it just fell out of me one day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my grandmother is the inspiration for that song, that particular one. And she's she was my mother's mom, mm-hmm. and she lived next door, her and my grandfather. And when we were kids, we would run through the field and go up and visit whenever we wanted. And she would always open the door to us, and she'd have treats for us. But mm-hmm. she was always there to listen. We would sit and talk to her about anything, and she really just enjoyed our company. So my grandmother was a huge positive light in my life, kind of like a second mother, really.
Really cool.
Yeah, and she passed away 12 years ago, and but she lived a really awesome life. She had a lot of children, and she experienced art in her later on in her life. She was a really good painter. Some of my paintings are behind me. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but there's a couple little paintings there that she did. But so whenever I write a song, whenever I produce a song, I always hear a visual, I always see some kind of visual.
Okay.
Whether it's a video or just a painting or some kind of imagery that goes along with whatever I'm musically singing.
Okay.
And so when Jordan, Maddie, and I got together to, brainstorm and think about the concept for that particular song, I knew I wanted it to be filmed in the field that was out behind my grandparents' house and where I grew up. It was a bit of a magical field for us as kids. We played in it all the time. Mm-hmm. And my mother plays the role of my grandmother in this video, and she just kind of appears to me in a dream, and my daughter's in it, and 4 of my sweet nieces are in it too. So yeah, it's a journey song, and the video really highlights, for me, it really highlights that journey that the song takes you on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice way to close out the record.
Yeah, yes. Yes, it's funny, I always had in my head too that I wanted crunching leaves. I wanted some kind of cool little piece at the beginning of that song, and in my head I always had this, I wanted crunching leaves. So we recorded myself. I went outside, Bill Preeper came with me, one of my bandmates, and he just had his phone, and we recorded. It was in the fall. It was like, is this time? Yeah, it was in September anyway. there were leaves, or maybe it was more in October, but we went outside and I walked in some leaves and made that crunching sound, and there just happened to be a dog barking, which was even more perfect.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, we kind of used that.
I was going to ask you if the dog was also a family member, but that was just something that happenstance.
No, just a neighbor dog. I have no animals. So.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Well, it's really soothing. I noticed that at the end of the song. I was like, oh, look at that nice calming dog barking. It just felt really peaceful.
The idea is really to stay grounded, but for that song to kind of take you into I don't know, like a space, or in, just off the earth and into space, but then it brings you back down to earth with that.
Okay.
The dog bark, kind of back to where you were.
Okay.
Shake your head and get back to where you were.
Yeah. So in the video, is there significance with the quilt? Is that like a family quilt, or is that?
No. My mom, she collects a lot of stuff, a lot of really cool antique pieces, and she has a lot of really nice quilts. We actually went through, oh my goodness, probably 50 of her quilts before we chose that one, and it's old. I don't know where it came from. I think she picked it up at Salvation Army or a secondhand store. Yeah, and it was really kind of falling apart. And there's a couple of shots in the video you might see, like there might be a couple little flakes that are on my on my white nightie. You can see that. That's awesome. It's just very, very it was very well loved. Yeah, and it just looked perfect for that vibe. But yeah, and the nighties that myself and the girls are wearing, those are all part of my mom's collection. She collects really cool old, we always say they're old-fashioned clothing, stuff that I guess you'd wear in King's Landing. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's really neat.
So, yeah, actually, a lot of the outfits that we wore in other videos as well that we did for this project. Thanks to my mom for the props and the wardrobe. Yeah. And my dad, the boys wore bow ties that were part of my dad's bow tie collection.
Cool. Yeah, parents coming in huge this go around.
Yes. Awesome. Can't do it without them, really.
So you mentioned when you're writing a song, you kind of have a visual in mind, or something comes visually. So that made it's kind of a two-part question. I was wondering if you were into visual arts before music, or if music happened before the visual arts. And when you're writing, is it like you get the melody first, or do you have that? Do you turn that visual into lyrics and then go from there?
Okay, well, I'll start with the visual question first. I think, like music, I feel like I've always been an artist. I've always loved to draw, paint, like most kids do. Growing up, that's kind of your outlet as a kid. You draw. You go to elementary school, and a lot of the art classes, you just you learn to use paints and pastels. So I loved art in school, and I studied graphic design. When did I start graphic design? I graduated in 2004, so I started in 2001. And when I took graphic design, you take I went to the New Brunswick College of Craft and Design in Fredericton. Okay. Just a fabulous school. I would like to return there someday and take another course, jewelry or I don't know, pottery.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But I did take the design course, and I realized when I was taking it that I had been doing graphic design kind of all along. Even high school, I was on the poster committee. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. Okay. But we had a poster committee. I think I probably started it. But I would cut out magazine letters and numbers. I was putting designs together when I didn't even realize that's very much graphic design. I wasn't using a computer; it was all done by hand. But so yeah, when I took graphics, I was just like, yes, this is my thing. I can take the ideas that I have in mind and put them to paper or put them on screen and make things come alive. And so it's very much a part of my music as well, because I am able to do all my own layouts, my own CD vinyl layouts. I can make my own promotional pieces, and it's really fun to do. Now, saying that, I also have a lot of awesome designer friends, photographers and videographers and illustrators. So I call on people every once in a while to give me a hand, and sometimes, like when I do projects for other people, I feel like I can really get a vision together for them. But sometimes when it's my own project and it's really, really close to me, sometimes I need a little bit of help. So I did call on Judd Haynes. He's a graphic designer friend of mine in Newfoundland.
Okay.
I just love his work. You should check him out if you haven't already.
Judd Haynes?
Judd Haynes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I met him years ago at the East Coast Music Awards. We were both up for Visual Artist of the Year.
Okay.
And among other people as well. But he put together a luncheon during that festival, and all the designers that were up for that award, we all got together and had lunch. And really, that was a huge highlight for me.
Cool. Just being able to interact with everyone in that kind of realistic way. Yeah,
just interact and talk. Really kind of geek out on design. It's kind of I got that. But so it was through that meeting that I asked him to help me with an illustration project for a Bob Dylan project that we put out before Sunshine Baby. So he helped me with the illustration portion of that.
Okay.
And again, I loved what he did with that. So I asked him again if he would help me with the Sunshine Baby illustration, because I had an idea in mind, but I just couldn't execute it the way that I wanted to.
Yeah.
And anyway, he tied it all together, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, that is exactly what needs to happen here.
Okay, cool.
And through his illustration, I was able to take little pieces of it and create other promotional materials, like the singles and just different promotional videos and stuff that I've put together. But sometimes I need that little bit of help to kind of get the ball rolling with my ideas. So yeah, I'm very fortunate to have a really awesome design, photography, art community that I can call on when I need it.
Yeah, for sure. Collaborating in community is a vital part of the arts, really, right?
I love collaborating, and I love collaborating on songs as well. So Sunshine Baby, a lot of these songs are co-written with some of the band members. There's 3 songs on the record that I co-wrote with a good friend of mine, Brent Mason, from St. John. He's just full of words, lyrics, and poems, and he's really exciting to write with, because it's just bing bang boom. How about this? How about this? And I am more of a lyric. Melody. I'm more of a melody. I actually, Brent and I'm melody girl, and he's word guy. But I have melodies galore, and he has words galore. So together, we seem to make a good co-writing pair. Yeah. So I enjoy collaborating whenever I can and whenever it feels right. And yeah.
How does a melody present itself? Is it a lot of times like out of the blue, or? Well,
I'll tell you, a lot of times it's just hearing a chord for me, like Sunshine Baby, the song Sunshine Baby on the record. I don't play piano. I don't read music very well. I can, but it's not something that I would sit down, and my eyes and my fingers and the piano don't work well together.
Okay.
So I'm more feel. I'm more just by ear sound.
Yep.
So I learned a couple chords, and really once I heard those chords played together, a melody came out of it. The song what's that?
Just kind of bubbled up.
Yeah. And a lot of time, and even I Won't Break, the song I Won't Break, I rented an electric guitar, and I don't play electric guitar.
Okay.
But I wanted to try an electric guitar, so I rented one from Long and McQuaid, and I started to strum some chords, and I had some cool shimmer happening, and again that melody just kind of fell out.
Cool.
So yeah, sometimes it's just hearing chords together, and I hear something in it.
When that happens, do you have to finish the idea right away? Like, does it just possess you, or are you able to kind of like make note of it and come back to it later when you're in the right headspace?
Kind of a combination of both. When I'm in the songwriting mode, like when I'm in it, I go a little bonkers. I go a crazy. I can't sleep. It's in my head that it's like a worm that just will not get out of my brain.
Okay.
And it's like, I need to finish this so I can have some peace.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, so, but then there's sometimes when, a melody will hit, and I record all my little ideas on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not technical really at all. So I don't have a recording studio equipment or anything like that. I use my phone.
Okay.
And I will come back to those ideas and see if the spark hits me again. Okay. But yeah, most times when I'm in a writing
mm-hmm.
mode, I have to finish it. Got to get it off my plate.
Is that spark, is that like a feeling? Or is it more of a thought? Like, do you think about it being a certain way, or do you just kind of trust your instincts and follow that?
Well, I guess I trust it, especially if it's hitting me that hard that I need to finish it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's exciting. It really is. I love it when songs fall on me like that. It's
a nice,
really exciting.
I call them gift songs, where it's just like, it just appears. It's almost like you're an antenna, and it just zoomed into your brain, and you're like, there, I guess I was the receiver of this information.
Yes, absolutely. I believe that.
Yeah, really cool. So I know you mentioned you're not too technically proficient, like you don't record at home so much, you use your phone.
I do, yeah.
The recording of this album kind of happened in multiple places, right? Didn't some of it happen at your house specifically?
So it did, however, but that, okay, back it up. We recorded the bed tracks in Oxford, mm-hmm. in Nova Scotia, in a theater. What was it called? The Capitol Theater. It was like this old, small, vintage-looking theater. It kind of reminded me of the Muppet Show theater. Mm-hmm. It's really sweet. But we recorded the bed tracks there. We were there for about a week or so, and we kept a lot. We kept a lot of the tracks from that recording. Piano. I know we kept a lot of the piano, and then we went to between Dale. So Dale Murray produced the record with us. Mm-hmm. So between his studio in his home and my basement studio where we rehearse, Dale would pack up his recording equipment and set it up. So he set up his recording equipment at the Capitol Theater. Okay. And he would pack it all up. And then he set it up in our basement where we have our studio downstairs for rehearsing.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of a pack and go recording project, but you'd never know. I mean, and of course we went back to Dale's and I did pretty much all the vocals there in his studio because he has a nice room that's great to record in.
Okay. Yeah, it's very cohesive. You wouldn't know that it was recorded in multiple places.
Yeah.
And actually, I like the song "Snakes and Ladders." There's a moment there closer to the end where everything kind of drops out and it's just the bass, or mostly. Yes. And you can really, I think you can really hear the theater at that at that moment. You can hear the sound of the room really nice.
Good. I'm glad you noticed that because there are a lot of moments in the record where you can actually hear the room.
Yeah.
So
it's nice to let everyone know that's a legitimate. A lot of the reverb and stuff is digital these days. It's nice to know this is this is a live off the floor. Like what you hear is what the room is.
But it was the real room space.
Cool. So do you find it? So this is the second record you've done with Dale, right? Dale Murray.
No, this is actually this is the fourth record I've done.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah,
so you really enjoy working with him then?
I love working with Dale. I'm a person that when I work with somebody and I really gel with them and feel comfortable and confident working with them, I like to continue that relationship and really build on it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love working with Dale.
Being comfortable is so important, especially with vocals. It's such an intimate instrument. Oh
yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, you have to really be comfortable in a recording studio situation. Mm-hmm. No matter whether you're doing the vocals or tracking guitar parts, it can get kind of hard on your head. You start to, well, I don't know for everybody, I'll speak for myself, but I know that there's moments when I am recording vocals and I start doubting myself and thinking, oh my, someone else should be singing this. I am not going to get it. Bring in a studio singer.
Yeah.
So, and same with guitar. I didn't really record a whole lot of guitar on some of my solo records. So recording, guitar parts and even the piano. Again, I don't play the piano. I feel a little strange sometimes, kind of an imposter-ish.
Yeah,
to be saying, I play the piano on those songs, but you need to be confident. You need to be comfortable. And the guys in the band, the Ramshackle Parade, Bill and Sandy and Chris and Glenn, they always make me feel comfortable. And you can come up with any idea and shout it out and not feel like, someone's not gonna like that idea. It's good to have that openness and that safeness, right? To be able to talk about your.
That's a really important point, because I think there's some musicians and bands who maybe, or people in general, who never get in a situation where they're playing with other musicians who are open, and then maybe like they're stuck in a position where someone is negative in the band and kind of always shooting things down, and that can be really it's obviously poisonous.
It is. It really it's a energy killer. It's just a real downer. And then when you go back and listen to that song years from the time you record it, you think of that, you remember that moment, and it's not a good idea. It's just not good to have any negative energy in the room. I know Dale, even he'll have like some sweetgrass, and he burns sweetgrass and kind of smudges or cleanses the air when we would start to record. And I thought that was such a great great thing to do. I might do that on tour, right? Smudge everybody and give us all good energy before we hit the stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of really, people forget that music really is a kind of like you're projecting a bunch of energy, so it might as well be a positive energy force that you're sending out there.
Yeah, and we were rehearsing the other night, and I'm just so excited. I get so excited, and I really have to tell myself to chill out when I go into the next song. I just have to really tell myself, okay, that song is over. It was, let it go. And now we're on to the next one, because I will just feel so excited and jittery, and I just can't seem to calm myself down. So I really do have to give myself a talking to pretty much after every song. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. So
that would affect the tempo if you're starting the song and you're still kind of.
Thankfully I don't start the tempo.
That's funny, because you do hear about that bands. You'll hear a band play a song live, and you're like, "Wow, that is so fast!" And it's just because in the moment, like it's like time's moving slow, even though you're playing way faster.
Yeah, and that happens. That's just your energy, and but it's all good.
Cool. Would you consider Dale a mentor at this point?
Yeah. I mean, I love what Dale does, and I mean, even he works with other artists too. So Christina Martin is his wife, and they just put out an album, or she just put out an album called Storm, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you've heard it yet.
No, I haven't.
If you haven't, you should take a listen and spin it. It's beautiful. It's just layered with strings, and I think her vocal is just, she killed it. Like, she's so awesome on this record vocally. But yeah, I mean, I love Dale, even as he does his own solo stuff as well. And that's kind of where I got, when I was going into record, it was Song and Me was the first album that I recorded with Dale.
Okay.
And yeah, when I was thinking about recording and who I wanted to work with, I was doing some researching, and I really love Dale's solo material as well. It's very Americana and kind of country cool. And yeah, he's so patient. And again, he's just one of those people that you can come up with any idea or say, suggest, like, what do you think about crunching leaves and dogs barking? He'd be like, yeah, let's see how we can make that work, right?
Yeah, he's willing to try every idea. Don't knock it before you try it, basically, right?
He doesn't dismiss anything, and I think that's important when you're.
That's great. And so you mentioned working too with Brent Mason. Have you been working with him for a number of years?
I have, yeah. I've known Brent for a long time. I mean, he really kind of helped me get started, even in the music business, kind of, I guess. Just going to his open mic night and him giving me the opportunity to get up on stage and perform, some of my own songs when I was 19, just a kid. So, but he's, Brett and I have been friends for a long time. We've been writing. Well, we wrote songs together on Song and Me. So it's been, it's been a while that we've been writing together, collaborating together.
Cool.
And I recorded one of his songs, Ice Flow.
Okay.
Ice Flow is a beautiful song of Brent's. It's on his Gloryland record.
Mm-hmm.
And I did my own interpretation of his song, and I recorded it. It's on my album Fargon Lullaby. So actually, we were talking about Fargon Lullabies the other day, and I released that in 2013. So it's the 10th anniversary of that album.
Wow,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And is that the album where you re-recorded Holding Out for that record?
Did I do that one on the record?
Was that a different one?
You know what? No, I think that was Good Things.
Good Things? Okay.
I think it's Good Things that I did that one on. Yeah.
That just popped. So the algorithm fed that to me. That's why.
Yeah.
Just this morning, it was like, oh, here you go. Try this out. So I heard the version off of Short Stories. And then the algorithm fed me the...
the short story version was kind of dance and pop and more layered. But yeah, we did strip that down. I kind of forgot about that. You reminded me of it. But for the concert that we're doing at the Imperial and on tour, we've brought back some of my older material, and it was really fun to kind of dive back into those old tunes and revive them. So so people can expect to hear some of my older material as well.
Oh, that's great. I thought the production on Short Stories was pretty interesting, really, because it's kind of got some dance elements, but then there's some banjo tucked in there, and it was really interesting to listen to.
Yeah, that was a really fun project to work on, and that was my first project that I worked with Ed Woodsworth from Cape Breton. He's a bass player, and I did 3 albums with Ed. Cool. With Ed and Jamie Folds at Sound Park Studios. Those three albums were recorded there, but again, it was great working with them, and wanted to keep working with them and build on what we had started, and
very cool. So let's get back to the Ramshackle Parade a little bit, because this is kind of like the first. Would you call these last two records the first time you've had kind of like your own band that was like a static band?
Yes. Yeah. So previous records, my solo stuff was all pretty like just they were hired musicians, fantastic musicians. My dad as well, like always great music collaborators on any of my projects. But for the Dylan project, the Just Like a Woman songs of Bob Dylan record, and the Sunshine Baby, we recorded those together as the Ramshackle Parade. And I loved what we did with the Dylan project, and then of course when we toured that album, the songs got bigger on stage because we were really owning them at that time. Okay. And I loved the energy that we brought, that we were putting into those songs. And I thought, man, if we can do this with Bob Dylan's music, let's put together a record of originals with this same energy and the same vibe, but go bigger, with more layers. And, everybody in the band plays, they're all such fantastic musicians. Like Sandy McKay, he plays everything. He could pick up any instrument and play it. Okay. He plays bagpipes. He plays the banjo. And I mean, everybody is a singer-songwriter. They all write music, these guys. So I think collectively together, I think our sound is this ramshackle vibe, and it's kind of its own thing. And I love how it sounds, and I love how what it brings to my music when I sing with the guys. Anyway, it's really fun, and I can't wait to perform again and play these songs for people live.
Yeah, I think it provides, from my listening, like it feels like it provides a pretty good foundation, even though like the sounds might change a little bit. Like Sally into Snakes and Ladders, you can hear a little bit of a genre change, and then I Won't Break is also kind of like this vibey dark song, but at the same time there's like a cohesive, like a foundation there that's gluing everything together.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thanks. I'm glad you.
Yeah.
Noticed that.
So really it was I Won't Break that caught my attention first. That when I first heard that song, it gave me goosebumps, and when that happens, I'm like, okay, now I need to like investigate further, like what's going on with this artist and music in general. Right. And the string arrangement on that song is really fantastic.
Yeah. So John Esty is he takes the credit for the strings, because he did four of the songs on the record. We had John do do strings, and he's based out of Nashville, and he was a connection that we made through John McLagan, who mastered the record from Parachute Mastering. You know John McLagan? He's in Tomato Tomato.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do know him. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were looking for strings, and John McLagan connected John Esty and I together, and Dale as well, and we just loved it. As soon as he sent back the recordings of the arrangements, we were just like, bam, that's right. Just nailed it. There you go. Put those on the song.
So you knew you wanted strings? You kind of, or
oh yeah.
Did you give him any
and especially on I Won't Break, on that section, I think that was the song that I was like, oh, we're gonna need strings.
Okay.
We have to need strings for this project.
Okay.
There's no way this song's going on the record without it. So yeah, and I think Bill had put together, like, just on his keyboard, I think he had come up with some kind of idea for the strings in that section, and but it was just like a keyboard sound. Yes. But so we had some kind of idea of what we wanted there, and then of course John Esty just took it and just put his magic to it, and
Okay. That was going to be my next question. Yeah, like if you just kind of gave him free reign to do what he wants, or if you kind of provided a little bit of guidance. There
were some spots we gave him guidance, but a lot of it we just I'm pretty sure Dale just said, here's where we know what we want, and here's where we know we want some things, but we're not sure what.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So yeah.
That's a nice meet in the middle. I mean, that's a nice meet in the middle. You trust the person, but you let them have some creativity.
Yeah, and I mean, as a designer too, I mean, sometimes you just have to, when you hire somebody to do something, you sometimes you just have to let go and say they're going to do that, and and let them do it. Let them do their thing. They're professional. Let them do it.
Yeah, you're drawn to their work for a reason, so let them do their thing.
Yeah, don't be right on top of them and telling them it has to be this way. So it's
Cool.
Sounds better.
Because you get their personality in it, Yeah. If they're just going to do exactly what you say, you might as well do it on a keyboard. You might as well do a phony baloney.
Yeah, it feels real.
Yeah. So not to get too deep into I Won't Break, but I also just want to mention, like, when you're singing the verses, there's like that measure of 2/4. Is that like? And I just thought that was such a fascinating decision. That it kind of pulls the whole song forward.
Okay, wait. Where's that?
It just sounds when you're singing the verses. It sounds the way I was counting it. It sounds like there's 2 bars of 4/4, like a normal bar, and then.
That's where it just seems normal to me. That's where it seems normal to me. To me, it's like, oh, this song is so straight, but maybe it's not.
No, it's not that. Well, as far as my counting goes, because then later on, I think there's a solo or something happens overneath that same progression, but the 2/4 bar is gone. Like now it's 4/4. So I don't know, maybe.
Cool,
anyway,
I'm happy to think it's cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. That really drew me in, and then kind of the way it ends without it sounds like it doesn't resolve, like it's left hanging. Doesn't go back to the
I love that part. I like how it just kind of leaves you going, oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You should not feel uneasy about it, I guess.
Yeah, but it's such the way the song flows. I think that's kind of how that's how that song needed to end anyway. It didn't need to resolve.
No, exactly.
Yeah. Are you involved in the mixing much, or is that something you trust the mixing engineer to do?
We were all involved in the mixing stage, really. It was a lot of work. Like, I feel like we started working on it during the pandemic, even just writing. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've been working on this project for a long time, and it really has been several, few years.
Yeah.
That was all. It was all. I wanted to be part of that, and it was. I got special speakers so I could actually hear the mixing when from at home when I was listening, so I wasn't just listening from my computer.
Yeah.
I did get some good speakers so I could make some notes and stuff, but we were all part of everything, really.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely a group effort.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice when that all comes together. Because I noticed the things changing throughout the mix. Like another one would be like I Feel Fine. The vocals, like there's like the tape echo or something going on to make the vocals feel like fresh but retro at the same time.
Yeah, and Dale and I, we worked hard on the vocals too, because I wanted to kind of go out of my comfort zone a little bit as well on vocals. On everything, I really wanted to get out of, any kind of safety net or, any kind of thing that I'd done before. I wanted to try something new. So yeah, Dale and I worked hard on getting the vocal, different sounds, and Yeah, everything. It was awesome. I mean, in the mixing too, he has a really great ability to bring things out. Like there might be little parts where the 12-string guitar just shines just for a moment, enough to make you go, oh, that sounded pretty. What was that? You know, he's really good at popping different instruments out in the mix and just catches your ear. Yeah.
That's great, because I find sometimes sometimes you'll hear a record where they get the really good bass sound, but the mixes don't really flow or change. They're kind of like static.
Yes.
And I noticed that about your mix. Your album is like it's dynamic. Things are coming and going. The tones change here and there from song to song.
Yep. No, that was a lot of wasn't just you know, oh, it happened. We really worked on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's circle back just a second. You mentioned getting outside your comfort zone.
Yep.
Was that kind of triggered because you have this band now, the Ramshackle Parade, or is this just kind of like a personal growth decision you decided to take, or like it kind of fascinates me?
You know, it's probably both. I just think I don't know. I mean, even my writing, I think it's just it's getting older and just living more. You know, I have children. I don't know. I feel differently than I did even 2 years ago. But yeah, definitely working with the guys and just again just feeling that the comfort to be with them. And again, they're always so you know, try this, Jessica. You know, you should try this, or they'll show me how to play something, or you know, they'll show me a cool chord. So they're very good that way. Okay. the word is not coming to me, but they're very good about helping me with music. Okay. So yeah, so I think it's both. I think it's just me just getting older and living more and experiencing more, and also just being surrounded by people that I love, really. Yeah. Would
you say they're like a generous band?
Very.
Yeah. Like generous with their ideas and their music and everything?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because I find it interesting too. I mean, of course, the older you get, you tend to like worry less about other people's opinions. Mm-hmm. Was that part of, like, did you have to struggle with that in your earlier days? Were you concerned about being accepted?
Yeah, I would say so. I was so young. I was so green. I didn't know what I was getting into. I just knew that I wanted to write and perform and record music. And yeah, but I think that all just comes with maturity and just living and getting older. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point where I'm just, I do music because I love to do it. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to, you know, write for a specific genre. This music is, it's just, it's me. It's that's how it comes out. And I'm not, you know, I'm not saying I'm jazz or, you know, I'm just making music with my friends and we're having fun, and I'll never stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's part of me.
It's interesting that I find that process interesting, is like how much do you worry about what people think and how much of it is just your personal representation. And of course it always seems like the best music are from folks who just they don't spend any time thinking about, or not very much time thinking about, what the outside world's going to think.
Right.
Because I would imagine you had to deal with that when, like, you put out a Bob Dylan cover record, right? So there'd probably be people like, why would you do a Bob Dylan cover record?
Yeah, there were a lot of people that when we were recording it, I you know what, I really didn't think about that at all. I was just so excited with our arrangements, and I mean, we had been playing the songs too in concerts, so in shows, and people were giving us positive feedback about it then. So when we did the album, I didn't really have any, you know, oh, people are going to think we're crazy. I really didn't. I was very confident.
Yeah.
And yeah. Cool. We've had some really great doors open from that whole project. I mean, our video for "Blowin' in the Wind." I mean, the video was really cool, but a lot of people comment just on the song itself, our version of it.
Yeah,
it's a classic, timeless Bob Dylan song, and it's really resonating with people from all over the world. We have over 13 million views.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It is awesome. It's wild, really. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a nice arrangement. It's like what you said, it's a timeless song, but it's still, that your version feels kind of fresh, but still represents the song well, and the video is it was really interesting. Of course, as a St. Johner, I can recognize certain things, but I feel like even if you're not from around here, just the way it's pieced together is really nice.
Yeah, and I mean, Jordan Maddie, working with him on videos again. I love working with Jordan. He's another person that I can go to with any crazy idea, and he figures out how to put it together. Cool. How are we going to do this?
Has he done multiple videos for you?
He has. Okay. Yes, he has. He did all the videos for our Dylan project. Okay. I can't remember how many we did for that. I want to say we did three or four. Anyway.
At least three, because I think I saw at least three.
Yeah, we did St. Augustine. Dreamed I saw St. Augustine, and what was the other one we did? I can't remember. Anyway, I started working with him years ago, and again, just love his. I just love his vibe, and he's just really cool to work with. Yeah. Cool.
Did he do the videos too for the for Sunshine Baby?
All the Sunshine Baby videos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Volkswagen van has a story to it, doesn't it?
That belongs to my husband.
Okay.
That was a bucket list purchase for him years ago.
Okay.
And he had it stored in a container for years.
All right.
And a squirrel got into it, of course, and chewed everything to bits and pieces. But he had always planned on, renovating it or whatever. So just a few years ago, he got it out of the container and he just started taking parts out and rebuilding it. It looks brand new now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful Volkswagen.
Yeah, it is quite beautiful. One of those is on my wife's bucket list too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pretty jealous seeing something like that.
Yeah, we don't go too far in it. We kind of call it our ice cream mobile. We go as far as we go get ice cream in it.
Okay.
We come back. It doesn't go very fast. It's pretty slow on the highway, so we tend to just drive around our area here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool though. It's pretty fun. You should record in it maybe sometime.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Cool. So Sunshine Baby. So you're playing the Imperial Theater this Saturday on the 30th.
Yep.
Hitting the road. You released the album on your birthday.
I did.
Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yes, May 5th.
Cool.
Yeah.
Birthday present to yourself.
Yeah, it was a bit. And actually, I hadn't really planned on doing it that way. The PR woman that I'm working with, Beth Kavanaugh, she put together a really great list of, we should release this single here, this single this date. And she's like, what if we release the album on May 5th? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Well, let's do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that date came about.
Okay. I want to circle back just 1 second because this kind of jogged my memory. It's called Sunshine Baby, but that was the last song you wrote for the album?
It is, yeah. And we were supposed to start recording in 2020. And I think there were several times we were supposed to start, and then obviously we couldn't. And and then I actually wrote that song in February of 2021. So it was really great that we didn't start recording when we were supposed to, because that song wouldn't have existed on the record.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have gone back and recorded it, but I don't know. It wouldn't have that same feel or that same vibe that we recorded all the bed tracks, right? And
it may have changed the whole theme of the song, or the whole theme of everything, really, right?
It may, yeah.
It's fascinating to think about.
Yeah, that's what happened for a reason, I guess. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I find that fascinating. All right, well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know we've been chatting.
No, it was great chatting.
Yeah.
I forget that this is going on radio on your program. I just feel like we're just chatting.
Yeah, those are the best conversations. Some of this, I have to be honest, some of this is selfish. I kind of just try to learn from people, so I figure if I'm having fun learning, then the listeners are probably having fun learning too. So
right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, maybe I'll sneak in one more question just because I was curious about how environments or surroundings affect your creativity, whether it be writing or recording.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I know people have asked me that before about, how does my environment impact my writing? And before I kind of didn't know if it really did or not. I wasn't really sure. But after really thinking about it, yes, absolutely. I live in Hampton. I overlook the Kennebecasis River. It's absolutely gorgeous here. The seasons we see every season just looking at our window or at our view. And I just, I am the people that surround me, my family, my friends, my community, all really, they lift me up, and a lot of my writing is very positive, and I think it has a lot to do with my environment. So yeah, it does. It impacts me for sure.
Mm-hmm. Have you been in a environment? Can you think back to environments that were negative, and you recognize now that it may have impacted the session or anything like that?
You know what? No, never. No, I feel very, very grateful and blessed to have been brought up in a fabulous family with my mom and dad, always safe environment. And we grew up, like I said, in that magical back field that Reaching Out to You is filmed in. And I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and they all have children, and our children all hang out, there. It's just, our family is very beautiful and important to me. And yeah, that's really great to hear. Because I think some people might think you need to have this kind of dark, stormy background to be an artist. No, I am not a dark, stormy person at all. I've always tried to think, like, what kind of angle? Do I have any cool, dark angle that I could ever go? I really, you know what? I don't. I'm pretty fortunate. I'm a lucky girl.
Yeah. That's really great.
I do like to. I like songs like "I Won't Break" and some of the darker songs. I do like to. I do like to go there and kind of come up with my own ideas for what a dark and edgy, stormy girl would be like. But that's all fun and fantasy. So
it's important. It's important to explore that a little bit. And I guess it's based off of someone else's story, but breathing in, breathing out would be another of those darker, like a darker vibe for sure. Yes, that was an incredible story of a woman that I was. Bill and Sandy and I wrote that song together. Okay, it was part of the. Maybe you went to some of it. Songs of the City. No, I'm aware of it, but no, I didn't go to it. Oh man, you should go. And whenever they have another one, I highly recommend you check it out. It is just the most powerful, emotional show. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Take some tissue with you. It's just amazing. It's people in our community that have, struggled and have overcome any kind of trauma or challenges in their life, and they pair people in the community up with musicians, singer-songwriters, and the songwriters write the story. These people, their story, and the two of I have to get it right. So the people in the community come out and they talk about their story very much like a monologue. Okay. And then the artist and the band would come out and perform the song that they wrote that goes with that person's story. Does that make sense? Oh yeah. Yeah. It is. Go see it. It's beautiful. I know they do it in Frederick. They do Fredericton shows, and I kind of in Nova Scotia as well. They're starting to do them there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great pairing because then you get the person's story, and then the song is your interpretation of their story shared. Right? Yes. Yep. Yeah, that makes for a pretty heavy. I know, like in that song specifically, when the bridge kicks in, it's kind of like a chromatic thing happening, and it's really heavy. It's really impactful. The middle of that song. Good. I'm glad you love that. Yeah, I love the bridge on that song. That's like the chaoticness of this woman's story, and just the climax of her. Decision to, I need to get out of this situation and make it a safe environment for my children. So that part I love. Yeah. Can't wait to do that in the show as well, in the concert. Yeah, that's going to feel good, I bet. Release all that energy. And it is, people find themselves stuck in these really, really, really difficult situations. And I think it's important to remind everyone that they're usually never alone. You're almost never alone. But when you're in the thick of a situation like that, it can really be difficult to imagine that there's a support system out there for you. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining me today. That was awesome, Jessica. I really feel like I've learned a lot, and kind of got to pick apart a few of your songs a little bit. That's great. I'm happy to. I get excited when people want to know more about the songs. That's just what I get excited about. What's the best way to get in touch with you or check out your stuff visually and musically?
Yeah, oh, well, absolutely. Go to my website, jessicarhaye.com, and that's RHAYE.com.
Okay.
And yeah, you can find anything on me on jessicarhaye.com. You can buy my records, you can watch the videos, you can learn more about the Ramshackle Parade and our Dylan project. But yeah, and you can see where we're playing too. We've got all the tour dates up there and ticket links as well.
Perfect. And do you do graphic design for other people? Like if someone wants you to do the work?
I do, yes. And one of my absolute favorite things to do is album layout, CD, music layouts, yeah. Well, I told you about Christina Martin's album Storm. So I did the layout for her project, for her latest album. Yeah, and it was a really fun project. I didn't do the artwork. The artwork was done by a girl named Nicole Aileen Legault, and she's from, well, I think she's from New Brunswick, but she was in Montreal when we were working with her. Okay. But she did this. You should check it out. It's just absolutely stunning artwork. Okay. It's photos of Christina, but there's just this beautiful layered blend of Nicole's paintings and textures, and yeah, it's a really cool concept.
All right, and that's Storm by Christina Martin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down right now.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll check that out. All right, so hopefully I'm hoping to get to the show on Saturday at the Imperial. Okay. So yeah, that should be great. And
okay, well, come back and say hi to us. Or come on, say hi to us.
Okay, yeah, and hopefully the road treats you well in October.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, and we're going to see Bob Dylan.
No, what? Oh, really?
Yeah, he's playing in Montreal the day that we wrap up on the 28th. Is our last show. Okay. And we're heading home on the 29th from Ontario. Okay. And he's playing in Montreal, so we were like, oh my God, let's get tickets. So we got tickets. Nice. We're going to see him.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. And to go see him with the band. Yeah. Like, because we're all pretty giddy about going, actually.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good way to end the whole tour, too.
Yeah, and it's in Montreal, beautiful city, so such a fun place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was like a La Place des Arts. I really don't know.
Oh, really? La Place des Arts.
Have you been there?
Oh, yeah. So it's like smaller event. It's like it'll be a small. I saw Bella Fleck and the Flecktones play there. This like jazz band.
Okay. So it's a nice theater.
Oh yeah, it's like a soft theater, nice theater. Yeah. That's awesome. I just assumed it was going to be at the sports arena or whatever. But
no, and that's what we're really quite excited about, is to see him in a theater setting. Because last time I saw him play at the Imperial, or not the Imperial, sorry, at the Harp Station or TD Station or whatever it's called now. But you get that boomy, and it's so big in there. So I'm really looking forward to.
Oh yeah, Place des Arts right down, like it's on St. Catherine. That whole area, if you I would give yourself time just to wander around. It's so beautiful, and the theater's really nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Really
cool.
nice.
Have you ever been to that Casa del Popolo?
No, I don't think so.
That's where we're playing it. Okay. It looks really cool from their website. The state, like their room where they have their concerts, looks really cool. But I don't know anybody that's ever been there. So I just wonder.
I lived there for a couple of years, but I didn't. I don't remember that venue. Is it right downtown? Do you know? Do you know what street it's on?
I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
But
that whole city is beautiful. Such a great cultural music hub.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to stop in there. We should probably do. We're going through there anyway. Let's try to see what we can do.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's tons of good food there. So much good food.
I bet. we're gonna do it all. We're gonna experience it all.
Yeah, get some Indian food. If you got time, go up to Park X, the part of the city called Park X.
Park X. Okay, let me write it.
Yeah. PARCEX.
X, okay.
And it's close to what's called the Jean Talon Market. There's all kinds of Indian restaurants there if you want some legitimate Indian restaurants.
Okay.
Oh man, so good. So good.
We will go there for sure.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for chatting today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks again for making this happen too. Yeah. I appreciate that. Our lives are crazy, and I know you're busy too. So
it's been great. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime, and maybe we'll chat again when you get back from the road or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be fun.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Talk to you later.
Bye.